Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and I'm back with an update with the Dillian Whyte saga, okay? The show is still going on. It seems like every day we're getting more and more information since the Oscar Rivas fight, okay? Now, alright, I did a video the other day, very lengthy video. I discussed a lot of things, even outside of that fight. And as soon as I uploaded it, more news came out. We found that the WBC officially suspended Dillian Whyte, which is what I was expecting to happen. Okay, we were all expecting that to happen. All right, but it's a temporary suspension. You know, it's an ongoing investigation with all of this, so I was not surprised by that. Temporary, and he is removed from the WBC rankings, and he is no longer the mandatory for Wilder's shot. Okay. But if Dillian Whyte is clean, like I've said in the last couple of videos that I made about this, then we have nothing to worry about, all right? If he's completely clean. Then comes the news of today. We find out that Dillian Whyte passed his VADA test previous to the fight and right after, right? There were tests administered both on the 17th of July, a few days before the fight, and the 21st of July, which is the following day from the fight. I believe the fight was on the 20th. All right, so this is what we're getting. This is what is reported. I read it on ESPN. I read it on badlefthook.com. And I also read it just now on boxingscene.com, which was the most detailed report that I read, all right, by Jake Donovan. So I read the report, said everything that I just said. Um, the key thing, though, is we're still waiting on UCAD. UCAD has not made a statement about anything. They haven't given us the results of the B sample, which usually matches the A sample. Okay. I'm not an expert, but from what I know from previous fights, the B sample almost always matches the A sample. Okay, so we're still waiting on that. We're still waiting on a statement. Now, the thing about this article, okay, or these articles, they do not give us dates, other additional dates where VADA tests were performed. Okay, we didn't get that. We only got a couple days prior to the fight and right after the fight. All right, according to UCAD, their test was administered back in June on the 17th. Okay, so that A sample is from June 17th, a whole month prior to those two VADA tests. Now, we know that Dillian Whyte is part of the anti-doping program by VADA. Okay, I think he officially, as far as the date that was given in the article, he was a part of it during the since April. Okay, so not saying that VADA didn't test them since then, but they don't give any dates. They don't disclose any of that information. So if there is information that show other dates out there, based on those articles I just read, I don't think the information is out there. They're deciding, from what I read, they're deciding to keep it confidential. I know a couple of people left comments stating that there were other tests done, but I haven't read an article yet that actually disclosed or gave us information about other tests from other dates from other months. You know, so with all that being said, the one key thing that I read about the article on boxingscene.com, I'm going to read this one paragraph, and I think this is probably one of the most important things in this entire article. The remaining question is how his late June test with UCAD produced the lone adverse finding through 12 weeks of testing with two different agencies. Any such clear tests from either agency would also have to fall within the time frame the substance in question remains in the human system, which would support White's case. That is the most important part of this entire article to me. Okay? Because, listen, this is great news. VADA, we know that Dillian was clean right before the fight. We know that he was clean right after. Cool. But what we need to know is, did VADA perform other tests around that same date where UCAD did. Because if this B sample comes back dirty, and I know it's only traces, it's always on, excuse me, it's always just traces. Where it's always traces. He, if there's a gap in the time frame of when VADA and UCAD perform their test on Dillian Whyte, he's gonna have to do some explaining if the B sample comes back dirty with UCAD. Okay, he's gonna need some explaining. All right, and that is what we're really looking for at this point. All right, we want to know. Okay, do these look at the time frames? Do they match? Is UCAD matching with VADA around the same time frame? That's what we want to know. Okay, because if they are, that works in Dillian Whyte's favor, because he's like, all right, something's wrong with this one testing because I did a testing with VADA right here, and I'm good over here, but you guys saying there's traces of something on this test. What's that about? And this is very surprising too, because you would think that since UCAD is a British agency, you would think that he would be clean over there and would be dirty with VADA. That's what you would think, but this whole situation is a little bit messy. So we're still waiting. We're still waiting for the full results. It's not a time for celebration just yet, because we know how this A sample, B sample thing works. Plus, we don't know the dates and stuff with this. We want everything to match together and be right. And if it's not, at least be clean with VADA around the same day. What I want to know, why didn't VADA give us the dates in June if there are testings, if there were testings in June? They choosing to keep certain things confidential, and I want to know why. Because I want to know, they're still doing an investigation, so they probably don't want to release everything. But what we do know is that he was clean as far as the night of the fight or around that fight time. Okay, so we still gotta wait. We still gotta wait. I think I haven't been doing a lot of videos this past week, but I've been listening to a lot of the channels, and like I said, this is very comparable to the Povetkin Deontay Wilder situation, where there's a lot of people going back and forth. A lot of people are defending Dillian Whyte without having the information, and a lot of people are totally writing Dillian Whyte off. At the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about White, Hearn, and whoever, the Brits in general, you I think everybody should want this guy to pass, because we don't want to just keep having guys pop dirty. And this is what I was trying to say in the last video that I did. Whether you're a PBC supporter, you're a Matchroom dazn supporter, you're a top ranked Bob Arum supporter, whatever it is, or a White or a Wilder supporter, whatever you are, when it comes to drugs, we just kind of want everybody to be clean. I think wanting a fighter to pop dirty is it's a sign of protection. Like when guys are like rooting and they're like happy that Dillian Whyte popped. Like when I hear people like cheerlead for that type of stuff, it makes me feel like, okay, you must not want him to fight Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. Like I don't want no one to pop dirty, but I do want tests to be performed on all of these fighters, because I want to make sure that they are clean. You know, so that's how I feel about the whole thing. Still, and I know a lot of people are not talking about it, but let's not forget, I'm still waiting on the result of this glove situation with the Oscar Rivas fight. I still want to know more details about that as well, because I personally believe having loaded gloves, and I'm not saying Dillian Whyte had loaded gloves. All we know is that Rivas's camp is saying that Dillian Whyte was not wearing the same gloves when the fight started. That was tested, okay, in a meeting before the fight, or a couple days before the fight. Okay, so I think a possible loaded glove situation is actually worse than a banned substance, in my opinion. Okay, I'm no expert, but if I were to fight somebody, I would actually rather fight someone that's juicing than fighting someone with, some kind of loaded gloves. We don't know what's in there. You know, but I'm not saying that Dillian White. I'm not saying that. All I know is that this team here are calling a foul when it comes to the gloves. All right, so I hope, even though that they claim that they appealed, hopefully that situation is good too. All right, so but I don't want to forget about that. All right, and I'm still waiting for UCAD to give us a statement, give us some more, the B sample results, and I'm also awaiting the VADA, the further VADA test dates. Hopefully they match with whatever UCAD is saying. All right, so that's my update for now. And I'll be back talking about this topic whenever we find some more news. All right, peace.